Hey folks, I'm going to be doing some modifications to the tractor here, putting in new stereo speakers, etc., as well as some new cab lights, some LEDs on the Kioti DK 4220 SE. And so what I did, because I don't have any scaffolding here, is I actually parallel parked it in my shop so that I can use the lift for scaffolding. You make do with what you got. So anyway, what we're gonna do with the materials we got today is I have a Boss Systems BCPA9, which has a nice big display, etc. It's got wireless and wired CarPlay and Android audio. So we'll install that guy. I've got a high definition backup camera. We'll see if that works with that head unit. It might not. We'll find out. And I also got myself a set of Kicker DSC 40s to replace the factory speakers, because apparently they're not the greatest. So we'll see how these work out. Also, for the wired CarPlay, I got a nice long USB extension cable, and we'll see about this little guy to mount inside for directly USB hookup wired to that unit. We'll see how that goes. I might not install these if the wireless CarPlay works good. We'll see how that goes. I also got myself a 4-pack of 7-inch LEDs. So we'll see how bright these are compared to the factory. The factory's pretty dim because they're halogen. So for some reason, this model year, it's got the LED headlights, but they didn't upgrade to LED up on the cab. And the cab lights are more important anyway. So I'll take you along for the ride. We'll see what we do and see how well it works. So the first step is to remove this factory stereo. I actually ordered the tractor without it, but it came anyway, so that's okay. This bezel we can reuse. Put that to the side. So they're just 4 screws here that we'll take out. All right, remove the screws. We should just be able to pull this guy out. Oh, she's just a little guy too. All right, how much room? Oh, lots of room inside there. So we've got your antenna for your radio. And then we've got this connector that'll be your power and your speakers. All right, and we'll figure it out from there. And one thing that's kind of nice is it's got the pin map for the connector in the back, so that makes it easier. All right, let's see what we got in here. Got the display. It's kind of nice. It's very adjustable, so that should do us nicely. What we got in here? We've got various different hardware package, wiring, etc. Put that to the side. Manual. Then we've got the head unit itself buried deep down there. I don't think I can do this with one hand. Give me a minute. All right, pulled it out. So we've got display unit, we've got the head unit, we've got microphone for hands-free dialing. It's got a GPS receiver actually. That's kind of cool. And various different hardware for securing it when you mount it. This piece slides off that you insert, flip up a tab to keep it in place. In the back here, there's a screw here that we will, I'll see if we can basically secure the back a little better so it doesn't vibrate so much if it's just held by the headliner. And she's got various other RCA inputs, which is interesting. And we've got a couple different camera inputs. So again, that could be interesting. It's nice, seems to be nicely labeled. So that's cool. Got a USB charger and then the Apple CarPlay Android Auto specific USB connector. So we'll see what fun we can get into with that. Okay, well, I got the roof off so that everybody knows, do not undo the bolts on the top. Those are actually just holding a spacer that comes down, and there's a little plastic cap on 6 spots around, 2 front, 2 back, 1 on each side, and it's got a little plastic cap on the nut. Take that off, you take the nut and washer off, and it lifts off, but there's one area to be careful for when you're on the inside. Maybe take off the orange thing for the fresh air or recirculate here, because it comes out from here. Alternately, you know, you can probably take the screen off. I did not do that damage. It was like it when I got it, and they're gonna get me a replacement part for that. But yeah, so watch out for that. So here, you know, you've got the speakers, here's the lighting, and it's got some connectors in there that a person could reuse and just put the right bullet connectors on the new lights, but we'll see when I dig into the lights a little more. But here I've got the stereo connector. I'm just gonna label each of these wires with a label maker to make sure I know what everything is when I either de-pin this. I don't know that I have another connector like that to be able to reuse this or not, but we'll figure that out. But yeah, just wanted to give a little word of warning there that these ones come off from the bolts underneath, hiding behind those little plastic pieces. All right, so I went ahead and labeled all of the wires. So your full red is your battery. Your red with a white stripe is the accessory. The black that's right beside the power is the ground. Your white and brown pair are your left, with the white being negative. The black and brown pair are your right, with the black being the negative. So if you go to cut this off, make sure you label these so you don't get yourself in trouble. I'm using a Weller heat shrink gun. It's actually, the temperature's just right for doing this stuff, and I'm using these cheap solder seal wire connectors off Amazon. These things are actually, they're pretty cool. They seem to work really well. So I just start at one end, and those bands hold the wire once you've heated them up. It's just like doing heat shrink. I go all the way along and make sure that it's grabbed onto the wire nicely. And then I go back and I make sure the solder heats up and starts to flow. Depending on, you know, how thick it is and how thick the wires are. You can usually see the solder start to flow a little bit around the wires and you're done. That's it. Wait for it to cool down and she's generally nice and strong. So as you can see, I've already gone and done with the lighter ones, the speaker wires, and just going through and straightening them all out. All right, so I'm taking a USB extension cable, using this green wire to fish it all the way down this post and inside down there so that I can mount a CarPlay USB on that console. Good times. All right, ran that USB line all the way down. There's an opening down there, and ran and put in a special CarPlay USB right there to do wired CarPlay. Don't think I'll use it much, but it's also a good phone charger. Just putting on the lights. So we made a custom bracket here to do these 7-inch LED lights off Amazon. As you can see, that's what it looks like when they're installed. It's not aimed perfectly yet, but it's there and it's ready to roll. They work way brighter. So I think I got a 4-pack for, you know, like $75 Canadian. So that'd be like, I don't know, 45 or 50 US. So they should work pretty good. I'm excited about that. And then once we get that done, this side, she's ready to put the roof back on. Nice. All right, well there's with just the standard headlights, and here's the upgraded lights. Huge difference. Very bright out back as well. That's awesome. Well, she's all done. Just waiting for some wheel weights to get some more ballast done here. I have a ballast box coming. Some of the things I did. The lights, which you would have seen some of that work. I mounted the slow moving vehicle lower so that it didn't stick up so high up there. Obviously, I added a cheap quick hitch. And so we go around. Lights up there. For some reason, they had this turned around the other way, so I had to turn that proper. I am going to grind this once I have some touch-up paint, so it's easier to see when you're coming up to level. I think I'm also going to make some marks for different attachments, like the forks level is different than the bucket because the angle of the quick attach. All right. I put in flat face couplers so that if I grab a skid steer attachment, they'll just plug in. So that's cool. You can see in the front there, I added a tie down for transport. I also have the same thing that goes on the drawbar, very similar. And I did some things inside. It's locked right now. But I got the stereo in there. You guys would have seen that install. And the new speakers. And I did get a warranty replacement for the fresh air vent up there. So I think she's pretty much ready to go. So to give you an idea of the different size and scale, that's a 1025R from John Deere. Look at the size difference of the tires. Of course, you can't even really compare the two. They're different classes. You know, that's a subcompact. This is a compact bordering on utility tractor. So obviously this has much more capability, but that's a little more nimble. Anyway, next time you see this, I'll probably be up at the land with it. Cross my fingers. And, you know, we'll see what trouble we can get into up there. All right, thanks everybody. Don't forget, hit subscribe, give the video a like, helps out the channel. All right, folks, we'll talk to you later.